Welcome to Mars. Many people believe that visiting Mars, let alone colonizing it, is science fiction. But is it? Let's imagine what life on Mars would be like. The most noticeable changes for our perceptions would be the freezing temperature, strange atmosphere, and almost 3 times weaker gravity. But there are also some important things that you would not notice at first. Mars has no global magnetic field, which means the main hazard for any living organism on Mars will be radiation coming from space. Right now Mars is a rocky, cold desert with often extreme weathers. One of the bizarre things in Mars are the sandstorms. Mars is known to have the biggest sandstorms in our solar system, and they can often last for months, covering the whole planet. Mars is an arid and cold desert, but evidence suggests that there are large reservoirs of frozen water hiding underground. Except it would be twice as salty as our oceans and possibly contain a cocktail of toxic chemicals which would wipe out the living organisms that we are familiar with. The first humans will land on Mars in about 30 years, and they will probably need to commit to staying on the red planet for a couple of years to make the several month-long trip worthwhile. The cold, coupled with the lack of oxygen, very low pressures and solar radiation would confine astronauts to their spacecraft or enclosed vehicles, with the occasional Mars walk in their spacesuits. The first priorities for long-term visitors would therefore be building some kind of shelter and setting up a power source, either a few acres of solar panels or maybe a nuclear power plant. This energy would allow explorers to separate oxygen out of the Martian atmosphere's carbon dioxide and to extract water from hydrated minerals in the soil. Mars rovers have sent back evidence of frozen water reserves underground, which the first Martian residents will no doubt tap into as well. If we're serious about establishing a Martian colony, some scientists suggest that we could modify Mars' climate to make it more accommodating to life. Our biggest challenge right now is flying people to Mars. Robot spacecraft began observing Mars in the 1960s, but to this day it is impossible for a human to fly there. Many brilliant minds are working on this goal, and it is estimated that it will take us just over a decade to finally be able to reach this goal, as the private sector is taking part in space exploration for the first time in history. It will not be an easy journey, but it will inevitably lead a new generation of people who are once again excited about humans becoming space-traveling species. An average person cannot do much to get us closer to colonizing Mars, but what all of us can do is think and talk about it, get people that you know excited about these ideas, because they are sure to come into our lives in the next decade.